In today's episode, we're going to be exploring 5 reasons why you should not do the Camino de Santiago. Oh my life, it's going to be a wild ride. Let's get on with it, shall we? Number 1 on our wild ride today is Blister Apocalypse. Now, if you are crazy enough to consider walking the Camino de Santiago, maybe 800 kilometers, or maybe one of the short routes, 350 kilometers, or maybe even just that last little section, 100 kilometers, one thing that's guaranteed is that you are walking into a battlefield. You're walking into a battlefield and the enemy is blisters. If you're going to walk that long distance, you can almost guarantee that you're going to have some pain on the old feet. Those beautiful pilgrims' feet are going to endure some hardship as they travel through the mountains, the long plains, as they wind their way through and meander next to rivers. Wow, you're going to experience some discomfort down in the foot area. Now, why in the world would you want to put yourself through that type of suffering? One of the big questions that you would face on the Camino, if you were to do it, if you were crazy enough to step out on the Camino, would be to pop or not to pop. The big decision that you're going to have to make about blisters.
On the Camino, you really need some medical help from time to time. And here at a little rest stop where everybody's hanging out, getting some breakfast, we have a patient.
Oh, yeah?
Colon. And we have a doctor. Okay, yes. Look at that.
Oh, how delicious.
Oh,
Gracias.
what are we cutting off?
Leaving it. And then
Leaving the toe.
Leaving the toe on.
Yes.
I can keep the toe for 3 days.
And then?
And then it will probably fall off in the shower. No. No.
A round of applause for the doctor. A round of applause for the doctor. Good job. Good job.
I've seen people with their feet absolutely ruined by blisters. I've seen people had to stop doing the Camino because the blisters have been so terrible. And can you imagine waking up in the morning, your foot covered in blisters, and having to put on a pair of socks, and having to squeeze into a pair of shoes, and then walk 25k? You must be crazy. But what if I was to tell you there's a way around this problem? And that is, ladies and gentlemen, preparation. It's not something that we like to do these days, but I'm telling you, it'll make all the difference. Lots of people tell you in preparation for the Camino, it's good to do some training. And yes, that is absolutely true. But it's not just about your physical strength to be able to make it up the mountains and, do all those long plains. The actual reality is your feet just need to get used to being in a pair of hiking boots or even trail runners. Some people say you don't need it with trail runners, but I think that you do. Getting used to a pair of shoes and finding the pair of shoes that work for you is one of the best things that you can do. On my first 2 Caminos, I had terrible blisters. Now I've done another 4 Caminos since then, and I've not had one single blister because I've found the right pair of shoes, the right pair of shocks, and also a little trick for you guys. Halfway through the day, I take my shoes off, I air my feet out, and then often I'll put a pair of hiking flip-flops on and walk the rest of the way in one of those. If you're struggling with blisters on the Camino, put a pair of hiking flip-flops on and you'll be fine. Number 2, pack attack. Well, ladies and gentlemen, do you want to feel like a Ninja Turtle on a meandering walk through the countryside? Because that's what it's like to walk the Camino de Santiago. Yes, indeed. Everything that you need for the Camino needs to go into your backpack and you need to carry it all the way. Now, that backpack could potentially be very, very heavy if you're a bit of a excessive packer, and you're gonna have to carry that pack up some crazy mountains and on some stupid long stretches. Do you know, on that 800 kilometer hike from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port all the way to Santiago, there are some days that are like 40 odd kilometers if you choose to walk the stage. That's a long way to be carrying a backpack and everything that you own. Yes, the truth is that it is hard work. It is uncomfortable, and that thing is heavy. But is there a way to deal with the backpack attack? Pack light, ladies and gentlemen. Make that pack as small and as light as you possibly can. And even if you are struggling with just carrying that pack, there are some great services out there that can help you reach the end of the Camino. Number 1, you can carry a trolley and put your pack on that. Or you could send it with the packing services. You can pay a fee, maybe 5 to 8 euros a day, and they'll transport your backpack from the place that you're staying in, the albergue that you're staying in, to the next albergue that you booked for the following night. So you can transfer your stuff and walk free as a bird, free to enjoy the beautiful countryside without the pain of that thing on your back. Now, there's lots of debate as to whether you should carry your pack or you should use a courier service. And sometimes when you're carrying your pack and you see somebody just walking around with a day pack, you think, your plight is not as bad as mine. It's all a bunch of nonsense. As pilgrims, we're on the journey together, and whether you are carrying your pack, whether you are doing it in stages in a taxi, whether you're using a horse, it doesn't really matter. We're out there searching for deep, profound experiences as we walk through the beautiful countryside of northern Spain. Let's celebrate one another's choices and encourage one another on the journey to Santiago as we experience this thing together. So you want to get somebody to carry a pack? Yeah, go for it. It's absolutely fine with me, but I do like to carry mine. Reason number 3 for why you should not do the Camino de Santiago is getting lost. Yes, indeed. While on the Camino de Santiago, you are going to be walking 800 kilometers potentially from one end of the country to another. In fact, you may even be starting in a separate country, Portugal or Spain. Well, Spain is where we end up, or France, or maybe Belgium. Who knows where you're going to begin? But you've got to navigate your way all the way to Santiago, and who knows even where Santiago is. How in the world are you going to get there? Surely you're just going to get lost the entire way, constantly asking the nearest cow for a direction or two. And what happens if you don't speak Spanish and you don't know what the word is for right or left or straight on? And how in the world do you even say Camino de Santiago? Who knows? What are you going to do if you get lost? And should it be a reason why you don't do the Camino? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've got good news for you. The Camino de Santiago is filled with signs that help you reach your final destination. In fact, there's markers all the way along the route. Yellow signs that are going to tell you to go right, left, and also going to tell you how far that you've still got left to go before you get to Santiago. It's absolutely brilliant. The entire country is marked out for you to be able to make it to the very, very end. Phenomenal infrastructure. And even that said, if you're still struggling, you've got a whole bunch of amazing apps that are going to give you a pinpoint position of where you are and where you need to go. Very, very helpful if you are predisposed to just wandering off into the distance and getting yourself into a little bit of trouble.
I ran out of water about an hour ago. I am completely in the middle of nowhere, so lost.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I beseech upon you to possibly think about subscribing, maybe liking the video? It really helps out the YouTube algorithm stuff, and I'm a really young YouTuber. Well, obviously I'm not young, I'm over 50, but new to the game of this whole YouTube algorithmness. So if you could subscribe, it would really help me out. Thanks a lot. Let's crack on with the video. Number 4, the Royal Philharmonic of Snoring. It is going to be every single night, every single location, you are going to be greeted to the wonderful, tuneful sounds of a chorus of people snoring from all over the world, all sorts of different, in all sorts of different languages and dialects. It's going to be phenomenal. Everywhere you go, there will be the stories of, did you hear that snorer last night? Oh my life, I had no sleep, 2 hours sleep, and now I've got to go walk 25k. Now there is a good reason not to want to walk the Camino de Santiago, and I'm telling you, there is no earplug that will stop the sounds of these crazy snorers penetrating your ears all night long. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the big ones. And I'm telling you, if you are crazy enough to step out on the Camino de Santiago, this is one that's going to wear you out and put you in a bad mood. And also, you're going to struggle to be one of those kind, happy pilgrims on the road because you're going to be so sleep deprived that you're really going to want to do something about it. So what can you do if the earplugs, those little yellow things that you twist and stick in your ears, don't make a difference? Well, I got good news for you. I found a hack that makes all the difference. Are you ready? Pay to go into a hotel. Yes, there are some really, really cheap, inexpensive little hotels, pensions that are en route. And if you can find somebody who doesn't snore to pair up with, you could be paying the same price to stay in an albergue as it is to go into one of these little pensions, maybe 30 to 40 euros. And then you've got a bedroom just to you and a friend who obviously, hopefully they don't snore. Now, if you are really wanting to stay in the albergue experience, because some of them, let me be truly honest with you, are phenomenal and brilliant and really important for part of your pilgrim experience, then I've got another great hack that's made all the difference. And it is one of these. Yes, the old AirPods. Now, these things, AirPod? Is it an AirPod? Is it an AirPod? Are these things called AirPods? These little earbud things? Yeah. AirPods or earbuds or whatever these little things are called do make a difference. So these things are noise cancelling little earbuds, and they're brilliant because they just sit in your ear and you can sleep on a pillow without them kind of impacting the angle of your sleep, and you can play a little bit of sleep music or just put them to noise cancelling. I do both, noise cancelling and a little bit of sleep music, and I am off to the land of Nod without a single problem. The symphony of snoring just disappears into the distance and you won't hear a thing and you'll have a good night's sleep. An absolute winner. Well, thank you for hanging out to the very end of the video, and this brings me to the number 5 reason why you should not do the Camino de Santiago. There are no vegetables. Without a shadow of a doubt, if you were crazy enough to step out on this mad adventure, there are some culinary delights that will absolutely blow your mind away. I mean, I've had some of the very best food on the Camino de Santiago. But what is also true is that over the course of a month, there aren't a lot of vegetables that I can find, and I've done it many times. There's some amazing delicacies. There are some wonderful bakeries, some amazing meat. Oh my life, the steak is phenomenal. But the average pilgrim's meal is usually kind of like maybe a pasta dish to start with, or a salad, which always take because it's the closest thing you're going to get to some vegetables. And then you're going to have chips and you're going to have chicken, or you're going to have chips and you're going to have some steak, or you're going to have chips and some more chips, or you're going to have chips and some pizza. And truly, by the end of that, over the course of 800 kilometers, you are going to be desperate for a vegetable. So listen, if you're a big fan of the old veggie, I don't recommend that you do the Camino de Santiago. Or is there a hack? And of course, there is a hack. The key thing to do is to find a little supermarket every single day and go and buy one of those fantastic salads. Pre-prepared salad, the Caesar salad I recommend. And in there, there's cucumber, there's lettuce, there's peppers, there's carrot, and there's a lovely salad sauce. And it's only around about €3. That is my daily lunchtime experience. I buy it everywhere I can get it, and that gives me the vegetable hit that I need so that when the evening comes, I can go into the carb fest that is the normal experience of a pilgrim's meal. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There's the 5 reasons why you should not do the Camino de Santiago. And I've kicked them all to the curb. Now there's no reason, absolutely no excuse why you should not step out on this most incredible adventure of walking to Santiago. Truly life-changing. I recommend you get on and you do it. And if you want to see some of my experiences as I've walked on the Camino de Santiago, check out my other video vlogs as I walk from the Camino Norte, the Camino Frances, also the Primitivos coming out, and also the Portuguese. It's all there for you guys to enjoy. But see you guys next time.